Hello friends! China is often on the news, in this case because of geoengineering and also because of the new year of the ox or buffalo. I'm not anti-Chinese nor anti-anyone, because the millenary cultural legacy of this Asian country is impressive. I only criticize bad people, which unfortunately exist in every country, because no one has a monopoly on good or evil. Opinion article. China manipulates weather. To control the weather is to dominate the world. Chinese scientists produce artificial rain using very low frequencies or sound waves. Researchers tested the device in Tibet. At the Beijing Olympics, rain was prevented by cloud seeding. Geoengineering is the deliberate modification of the Earth's climate. Everyone wants to play God with the weather, and that is very dangerous. All the powers that be want to manipulate the weather as a weapon of war. Solo diving would reduce oxygen and food production. Porfirio Diaz's hidden treasure would make Mexico a great world power. The year of the rodent rat leaves, and the year of the cow, ox or buffalo begins. 2 billion Asians celebrate this Thursday to welcome the year of the ox. Other oxen may begin to gore, like the Wall Street bull. In Spain, the rat left the Iberians with one hand in front and the other hand behind, like in other countries. Let's start. Chinese researchers have found an effective method of weather modification to achieve higher levels of rainfall. The method works by firing low-frequency sound waves at clouds to vibrate water droplets and increase the likelihood that they will coalesce into larger droplets. HARP also produces an ultra-low frequency wave that affects the ionosphere and by rebound effects impacts the Earth and can generate earthquakes, tsunamis or weather modification. In an article published in the journal Science China Technological Sciences, the researchers reported that the method can increase the amount of rainfall by up to 17%. They noted that the technology still needs refinement, but they hope it will help increase the amount of rainfall in drought-prone areas. But critics are concerned about the method's lack of a scientific basis and generates noise pollution. Artificial rain. China has around 22 billion tons of atmospheric water vapor. Not only 20% of this reaches the ground each year. Western regions are particularly affected, as they normally receive lower amounts of rainfall than the national average. To that objective, the researchers attempted to trigger rain by launching low-frequency sound waves from a sound generator. The sound generator is powered by a diesel engine and is capable of compressing air to several times the atmospheric pressure at ground level. Wang Qian, a researcher at Tsinghua University in Beijing and the principal investigator of the study, the main investigator, said the sound energy technique could be a game changer in cloud physics. Wang said that unlike other rain generation techniques, this doesn't produce chemical production because it does not require aerial vehicles such as an airplane or a rocket. In addition, further improvements can reduce costs and allow remote control of the sound generator. Experiment. The researchers tested the device on the Tibetan plateau to produce sound waves with a frequency of about 50 Hz, which is barely perceptible to the human ear, and a volume of up to 160 decibels, which is as loud as a jet engine running at full speed. The sound waves had a volume of 160 decibels at ground level, but when they reached the clouds, the volume dropped to 30 decibels due to the reduced pressure. Using radar signals to measure water droplets within the clouds before and after triggering their device, the researchers found that the sound waves produced significantly more water droplets and increased rainfall by 11% to 17% within a 500-meter radius from the sound generator. This increase, according to the researchers, is caused by smaller particles oscillating and matching with larger ones, which then become heavy enough to fall as a rain. Criticism. Critics worry that the sound energy method generates noise pollution and harms animals. The rain method may be harmful and scientifically unstable. While humans will barely hear the sounds, some wild animals may pick them up and suffer disruption to their natural rhythms. A researcher from the Chinese Academy of Sciences, who was not part of the study and asked not to be identified, said also the experiment must be repeated several times to confirm the team's results. The researcher added that there is no real evidence to support the idea that rain is linked to sound, calling the link more a myth than science. This came as China plans to expand its weather modification program to produce artificial rain over an area larger than the size of India. The State Council of the People's Republic of China announced in a statement last year that the country will be able to produce a developed weather modification system within the next 5 years with advances in research. Cloud seeding. The communist country has been trying to manipulate the weather for some time. For example, China experimented with cloud seeding to reduce rainfall at the Beijing Olympics. Cloud seeding is a method of rain production in which substances such as dry ice and silver iodide are placed on clouds in order to induce rain, dissipate fog, and weaken some storms. Concerns about the safety of cloud seeding center on the use of silver iodide, which some studies suggest would be potentially toxic. Definitions. Geoengineering. Climate engineering or climate intervention is the deliberate large-scale modification of the Earth's climate. A 2014 study investigated the most common climate engineering methods and concluded that they are either ineffective or have potentially serious side effects or cannot be stopped without causing rapid climate change. Climate manipulation is the act of altering the environment to produce changes in climate, in weather. It aims to prevent extreme weather and natural phenomena such as hurricanes or tornadoes, produce weather for the benefit of humans, such as rainfall in a drought area, and provoke a natural disaster against an enemy or a rival for tactical, military, and economic warfare strategies. Weather modification in warfare has been banned by the United Nations under the Environmental Modification Convention. In February 2015, the U.S. National Academy of Sciences, along with other institutions, published 2 reports of geoengineering technological proposals to manipulate the weather that were funded by, among others, the US CIA, In 1996, the US Air Force published a more extensive report on climate manipulation entitled Weather as a Force Multiplier, Owning the Climate in 2025. That is worrying. Excuse me. Weather manipulation as a weapon of war has been on the agenda of the US military and other major powers for decades. For example, in Operation Popeye, used during the Vietnam War, now declassified, clouds were seeded to prolong the monsoon, and it was made to rain for long periods of time to flood roads and ruin the rice crops of the resisting Vietnamese. Dangers. Artificial climate manipulation could have dangerous consequences for the planet, warns climate researcher Cliff Hamilton in the book Earthmasters: Playing God with the Climate. If large-scale climate manipulation were feasible, it would involve unexpected side effects, especially given the unpredictable nature of climate evolution on a global or regional scale. Geoengineering put ecosystems and human health at risk. At a conference in 1997, U.S. Secretary of Defense William Cohen mentioned the writings of futurist Alvin Toffler in relation to concerns about environmental terrorism and deliberately caused natural disasters. Geoengineering could increase ocean acidification as a result of acid rain, aggravated by stratospheric injections of sulfur, which could result in the destruction of phytoplankton and produce oxygen to the Earth's atmosphere. The amount of available sunlight and water affects plant production, and to the global dimming targeted by Bill Gates' project would reduce plant photosynthesis, the oxygen we breathe, and food production. Short news. Former Republican officials want to form a third party. Dozens of former Republican officials who believe the party is unwilling to stand up to the former president are in talks to form a breakaway party. 4 people are involved in the negotiations. The early stage of the discussion include former elected Republicans, former officials from the Republican administration of Ronald Reagan, George Bush Sr. and Jr., former Republican ambassadors, and Republican strategists. First unit with hypersonic missile systems. The U.S. Army plans to equip its first unit with hypersonic weapons system within 200 days. Defense News quoted Lieutenant General L. Neil Thurgood, Director of the Army's Rapid Capabilities and Critical Technologies Office, as saying Wednesday. Russian embassy urged Pentagon to stop saber rattling. The Russian embassy urged the Pentagon to stop reckless saber rattling following military exercise conducted by Washington and Ankara in the Black Sea. Astrology. Carmen Di Lucio has rectified her own article in which she now announces a new moon in Aquarius and not in Capricorn, as she said before. So she had made a mistake. The year of the rat leaves and the year of the cow begins. About 2 billion Asians celebrate this Thursday, February 11th, the New Year's Eve of the year of the rat, and welcome the arrival of the year of the cow, or ox, which begin on the 12th and will end on January 31st, 2022. In Spain, the rat left the Iberians with one hand in front and the other behind, which can be extended to many countries in the Americas and the world. The year of the ox, which begins on Friday, February 12th, will require all the qualities of this noble animal, which symbolizes the power of union and strength, hard work, stubbornness, and commitment to overcome crises throughout dedication and sacrifice. After the rat's destruction, many oxen will be needed to help to avoid the catastrophe. Unlike the unpredictable rat, oxen are stable and reliable in doing their job. Other oxen may begin to gore the rabble, such as the wild bull on Wall Street, a symbol that concentrates the world's new economic powers, which some call the invisible architect. The Chinese will also make exhaustive cleaning in their houses, together with millenary rituals to expel the bad spirits and welcome the good ones, the protectors, who will watch over the well-being of their house and the country. Hydrogen chloride found for the first time in Mars' atmosphere. The ExoMars 2060 mission has announced two exciting scientific results about the red planet. It succeeded in discovering a new gas in the Martian atmosphere, as well as tracking the loss of water on Mars, which gives important clues about the evolution of its weather. Porfirio Diaz's hidden treasure would make Mexico a world power. The Mexican government will investigate the existence of a treasure of more than 830 billion pesos, which would have been deposited in foreign accounts during the Porfiriato era, Porfiriate in English, for the Mexicans who were deprived of their land. Money with which the country could become a world power, or at least provide each Mexican with 80,000 pesos. On January 19, 2021, President Andrés Manuel López Obrador was asked about the existence of an alleged treasure deposited in foreign accounts between 1910 and 1920, which could be repatriated to the country to support Mexicans. A clever cat rings the doorbell to get its owner to open the door. A home surveillance camera captured a totally surprising moment when a clever cat rings the doorbell with its paw to get its owner's attention. The images show how the feline, named Croton, returns home after a walk but cannot open the door. He then chooses to ring the doorbell so that his owner, named Sarah Lindsay, will see him on the screen and let him in. The video, which proves that the cats might be smarter than dogs, soon went viral and has racked up more than 16,000 views on YouTube. Galactic messages. Starfleet comment. Everything that is happening around the world today is the release of the star negativity, as the light shines on all that has been hidden in darkness. It has to come out and express itself before it can be released. True positivity can only reign when the darkable is revealed and released. This is now being done on a collective scale all over the world, and that is really good. As you awaken from the deep sleep of this illusory aspect of the 3D world of planet Earth, you will see more clearly the rightness and wrongness of your current life, as well as the necessity of the cleansing and purification process, both individually and collectively. Council of the 12 Elders, beloveds, your world is not crumbling, it is transforming. Humanity is ascending, and this is one of the most exciting times to be on Earth. From our perspective, we can see that Earth's dimensional shift into a new era of peace and love has already taken place in the higher dimensions, and that the events unfolding on the surface are only the physical manifestation of these higher dimensional shifts. The old must scramble to clear the way for what is to come, and what is coming is beautiful beyond that you can imagine. Humanity stands on the brink of the greatest change ever experienced in Earth's history. Great changes and revolutions have always been accompanied by confusion and chaos. Know that this is to be expected, and is part of the way things must unfold. You must be brave and have faith during these times. Turbulence will increase this year, even more than was experienced in 2020. Great changes are taking place, and most of them are not visible on the average human eye, as it needs eyes to see and to perceive truths that are available beyond veiling. Things are not what they seem. Remember that you are all warriors of light incarnated on this planet, and at its critical juncture for a very special purpose. You are here to anchor the light of peace for all humanity. You are galactic change makers who are here to shift the paradigm so that truth, justice, and harmony can prevail. You are here to break the chains of misery and slavery once and for all. You are here to free this planet from the clutches of tyranny. It is not an easy task, yet here we are, and you have already prevailed even if you cannot yet perceive it. You have successfully completed the collective mission for which you came here. You have tipped the balance in favor of the light. Now we wait for the physical reality to catch up with what has already been sealed in our reality at the frequency level. To inflame Ascension report. We are currently witnessing the dismantling of the clique that has had its tentacles locked into every aspect of humanity for thousands of years. Many people complain that it is taking too long, and we need irrefutable proof of what is happening. But it would serve us all well to remember that what is taking place is a profound and extremely complex dismantling. The head of the Hydra has been cut off, but it is obvious that there are still some low-level minions who are doing their best to continue with the plan to further traumatize humankind. And that is all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.